Hey everyone, this is John Joseph back at the East Center, and today I'm with Jason Duskin. Jason, good to be with you.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Jason and I met recently. Jason is the founder of Simply Great Marketing, has a long background of success in marketing and sales. Actually took over a distributorship for AT&T that was ranked number 749 among all stores.
Yep.
Took it to number 1 overall. And so really excited to talk to you today about sales. And I told you when we were talking that when meeting with clients, always tell them you can get sales right and everything else wrong and you can fight another day.
That's right.
But if you get sales wrong and get everything else right, you will not make it. So sales is critical. So here's my ask of you before we get to the questions.
Okay.
Let's not have the typical discussion about sales. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's the conventional wisdom, that stuff that's just wrong. There's the stuff it's good and it's right, but it's kind of everywhere. I want to dig deeper. You don't take a distributorship or an authorized retailer from 749 to 1 just on the conventional wisdom. So with that all being said, let's jump in. First question for you. What do you think is the most misunderstood thing about sales?
Yeah, so a lot of people that I talk to about sales, I've interviewed a lot of people for sales, recruited a lot of people for sales, and their initial go-to is, well, I'm not good at sales. And so, I'm a big fan of the book by Simon Sinek called Start With Why. So I always want to know the why behind the what. And the what is, well, I'm not good at sales. Well, why do you think that? And so typically what happens with people is they think, well, because I'm not outgoing or I'm not good at public speaking and I'm not good at all these things, therefore I can't be good at sales. But the truth about sales is that the less that you talk, the better you are at sales. The more you talk, really honestly, the worse you are at sales, because what you should be listening for when you're talking to a client is you should be listening for the situation that they're in. So I use an acronym called SPIN. So you want to listen to the situation that they're currently in. You want to listen for any problems that they're experiencing. If you don't fix those problems, what's the implication moving forward in their life? And then that leads you to the need payoff, which is where you're going to get paid as a salesperson. So what you want to do is you want to fill out their entire situation. What does a day look like for them in their life? What problems are they currently facing? Do I have a solution for that? And if I do, and I don't fix this problem that they're having, how does that affect them moving forward? So really sales is not about, when I first went into sales, I thought that sales was like the used car salesman, had to have like the greatest voice ever and blah, blah, blah. But that's just not sales. The biggest part of sales is finding where people have problems and then giving them a solution to fix that problem and kind of understanding how you can help them. If you make a sale and you've not bettered the person's life or helped them in any way, then you've really not won as a salesperson.
Okay.
And so I use the word empathy a lot. Having been a pastor for years and just kind of having that spiritual background in my life, putting myself in other people's shoes and talking to them the way that I would want to be talked to as a customer. Empathy goes a long way in sales. And so, it's all about finding the problem and then presenting the right solution for that problem.
Why do you think people fear sales so much? It's interesting to hear you say, don't talk so much, listen. Maybe people fear it a lot because they have to talk so much, and you're saying, no, you don't. And maybe that gives reason to the fear, or do you think there's some other reason people fear it so much?
Well, I think we've seen a lot of bad examples of sales on TV and online. I think we've seen a lot of bad examples in life in general of sales, of what sales is and how it's sold to us. But the truth is that the best salespeople are the best listeners. So if you listen more, talk less, you're going to win more and more customers, and you're going to not only are you going to build initial customers, but you're going to build repeat customers, people that are going to come back to you and buy more from you, because people buy from people they like, know, and trust. And so if you build that trust with them, then they're going to come back and buy from you more and more and more, and you're going to grow that portfolio over time with them.
It's interesting how so much of our culture encourages us to focus on ourselves. You're saying effective sales is really about focusing completely on the other person.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. So you know the conventional wisdom around sales, and I said let's not go too far into that. What is the piece of conventional wisdom that is accepted as true for sales that you disagree with?
I think one of the things that that I disagree with is that sales is a talent, and I don't think that sales is a talent. I don't think it's something that you're born with. I don't think it's something that's just put in your DNA. Sales is something you can learn. It's a craft, and so my dad was an electrician, and my dad, when he started as an electrician, wasn't a very good electrician. But he spent time learning the craft and learning the trade, and my dad became a very excellent electrician. And so sales is a craft that you can learn and you can hone and you can develop over time. And so spending a lot of time just listening to knowledgeable people. I listen to a lot of Grant Cardone, I listen to a lot of Gary Vee, and I don't agree with everything that they say, but there's nuggets in everybody's speech or their talk that you can take away. So I'm always looking for takeaways. So I think the biggest piece of wisdom that I disagree with is that sales is a talent. I think sales is a craft that you hone and you develop, and it's like a knife. You just sharpen it over time, and you just keep sharpening it, and you can get better at it. So you can stink at it initially, but every time you have an opportunity to talk to somebody, the military uses a phrase when they're in combat of adapt, improvise, and overcome. And sales is a lot of adapting, improvising, and overcoming, because you want to adapt your sales pitch, you want to adapt your sales strategy, improvise, and then you can overcome those objections as you face those objections in a sales. But if you don't put in the work, so you can show up with talent, but hard work beats talent when talent doesn't put in hard work.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because this last question, that'd be a great answer for the question I just asked you and the question I'm about to ask you.
Okay.
But let's aim this more at our young people.
Okay.
I think we got a very entrepreneurial generation. I think we need to encourage them. I think we need to support them. We need to educate them. We don't need to discourage them. They're young. What is the key thing that young people need to hear about sales that they're not hearing?
Forget about all of the drop shipping gurus that are out there, and get out from behind your computer screen and go out and talk to people. So sales is a number games. It's all a numbers game. And so if you sit behind your computer screen and you expect people to come to you, you're probably going to fail. Most likely you're going to fail. You can have the best SEO in the world. You can have the best Facebook content in the world. You can have the most poppin' Instagram in the world. You can be all over TikTok and YouTube. But the only thing you're doing is existing in a digital space. Sales happen in a real physical world where you've got to get out. And again, people buy from people they like, know, and trust. And you can develop some of that online with videos. But if you're never talking to people, then you're leaving a lot of money on the table. You've got to get out and you've got to go out and talk to people. And, so again, you can be the most talented person in the world and have the best product in the world, but if you're not out there championing your product, if you're not out there putting it in front of people, your business is never going to grow exponentially the way that it could if you got out there and went and knocked doors and talked to people. So just sitting behind a computer screen expecting things to come to you, drop shipping's fine, an online business model's fine, but you've got to get out there and talk to people. You've got to meet people, you've got to network, you've got to build relationships, and you've got to get out from behind the computer screen.
I like it. Man, that's good stuff, Jason. Thank you. Listen, shout out to all the salespeople in the car industry and everywhere else who are doing it the right way. Jason Duskin, Simply Great Marketing. Great talking to you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.